All right, this is Jets Chaos, and in a weird, different, wacky way, Watu K99 is already on. So,
oh my goodness, where's my music?
Here we are.
I started like with the side look, just like this. So
That's
yeah,
what
you got
happens
the right
when you
side of my head.
That's what happens.
It's like I'm advertising the headphones right here. It's like, yeah, I'm now a spokesman for Sony. It's unbelievable.
We are going to go over the 24 players for each team. I don't know if we're really going to cover every team. We'll find out right after this. I would regret it if people look back at the first episode and you weren't on it.
Yeah, well, I like that. It's called forward thinking.
One of the worst beats in the world. We do. Our beat is horrible.
Connor could shove that article up his ass.
And then I went to that game and I was like, this is the greatest team I've ever seen in my life. I'm a Jet fan. This is going to be the greatest run ever. Yeah.
No, because if they take Ekwonu, I'm not complaining.
Joe Douglas is the king of keeping shit close to the vest.
A 2, a 4, and a 6 for Darnold?
Did the Jets really ruin Sam Darnold? Or did Sam Darnold just suck all along and we were just trying to talk ourselves into it?
And Hamilton is a player who can potentially make a very big impact.
And suddenly here we are today, you can't get rid of him.
Right, it's like a plague.
Joe Douglas was hired because he's not those general managers.
Okay, Luscious.
Somebody is going to fall just like Elijah Moore did, just like Michael Carter did.
If you had one sentence to say to Joe Douglas, what would you say? So you would say, you had me at hello, and then give him a big old wet one right on the smack.
Okay, so we have something going on that's a little interesting. I don't really know what to say. We had this new person, or now I'm not so sure. There was this Loose Stools character that kept tweeting.
Sure, the briefer the introduction, the better. Okay.
Okay, guys, I don't know what's going on. I met someone on Twitter, and he keeps insisting he wants to be on the show, and he seems knowledgeable. And I said yes, and now we're looking at it's a tiny screen. I don't know if I can't even explain. Okay, so let me just introduce.
He looks like a reject from the Muppets.
Jesus Christ. Everybody, welcome Loose Stools. Loose Stools, are you there?
Oh, I had to walk away for a second. Wait, I'll be back in a second.
Stools?
I'm coming. Hey, guys, how you doing? What's up?
Hey, Mr. Stools, it's a pleasure to have you on tonight. How's your day been?
Man, just call me Lou. You don't got to call me Mr. Stools. Ain't that formal? I'm an informal Lou. Doing good, though.
How did you become a fan of the show?
I mean, I'm green. I didn't really have a choice, did I? What am I going to be? A Giants fan with no blue? I ain't blue.
No, you're definitely not blue. Well, I mean, no.
I was born to be a Jets fan.
Now, why were you born to be a Jets fan? Like, what was the genesis of you becoming a Jets fan?
Well, when a mommy green person and a daddy green person love each other very much, they have a little green person. Jeremy, did you not explain this to him?
I had no idea.
You don't know how the birds and the bees work. I'm green. I got to be a Jets fan. I'm green.
Okay.
Well, since you're so familiar with the process, do you have a wife? And if so, is she green?
I mean, I've had women over the years. I've had a couple of wives, but none of them were mine, if you know what I mean.
Jesus Christ.
I spent 30 years fighting in full contact basement puppet warfare. Yeah. We were the Kung Fu puppets. We fought full contact. Wah, wah, wah. And now I've been an announcer for a couple of years. And I'm not good enough to announce the footballs, but I'm good enough for this crappy YouTube show.
Oh my God. So I guess let's start with. I'm interested. What's going on? How do you feel about? How do you feel about Zach Wilson?
Oh, Zachy! I think that he's going to surprise a lot of people if he has a front line who's going to protect him for more than 2 seconds a damn play.
That would definitely help. That would definitely help. Hey, have you ever, one thing we really like about Zach, he's got those really cool headbands. Do you ever wear the headbands? I think you might look good in that. Maybe a nice green one. I don't know.
I mean, you're going to buy one for me.
I don't know. What size would fit your head? I'm wondering.
Which type of privilege is this? Oh, you're going to get a headband. Like I got money coming out of my ears.
You got a little white hair coming out of your ears, but that's about all I see right there.
It ain't the years, it's the mileage, baby. It's been a long. Listen, I don't want to get in the way of your show. I'm just here, to bring the wacky. You guys go ahead, talk about your little foosball.
Go look with your foosball, Mr. Coach. Jeremy, are we sure this isn't a Friday night show?
I don't know what the hell's going on here.
It's 5 o'clock Friday somewhere.
Lose
pour me something tall and strong. I got a tall but not very strong right now.
Sound like my penis.
Oh well. Actually, you know what? Hey, chat. You know what, chat? If you have any questions for our guest Lou, we'd love to know what you have on your mind. Any question? Let's do like a little Ask Lou segment here. So
you got to read it. It's got the glaucoma.
I got the glaucoma. Oh, okay. Well, that's
what we're doing. My wife must be thinking, "What the hell?"
I think that's
going on?
Hey, your wife knows exactly what I'm thinking.
Arkansas, Adam. I wish it was a Friday show that it would be a 6-hour stream.
Okay.
The internet is not ready for that.
If your stream lasts more than 6 hours, call a sports medicine doctor.
I don't know how to say this. I want to say this, and I don't want to offend, but what is the mouth opens up every time?
Hi, Jocelyn.
The mouth keeps opening.
Hi, Jocelyn.
Hi, Jocelyn. How you doing, honey?
How is there a person who powers you? How to ask him?
You mean like Jesus? What are you talking about?
Lord, I apologize. I'll see you Sunday.
So did you ever go to a Jets game, Lou?
I mean, not exactly in so many words, but my cousin is the AstroTurf. So, I've got an inside track.
Ooh. Well, can you please talk to your cousin and ask him why we have so many injuries? I mean, does he have any explanation for why we keep getting injured on that turf?
It's called gravity. You fall and you're going to get injured. That's how it works.
Oh.
Who hired this guy?
There's a reason we do it for free.
Why am I on this show?
Well, it is a Jets show, and you claim to be a Jets fan.
We do have a couple questions here. They actually want to get to know you better, Lou. So maybe if you're not a big fan of our questions, maybe the chat will have some exciting questions here. Buffalo Jeff fan, very well respected Jets YouTuber. Why is your nose made of truck nuts?
That is a personal question, but I am happy to answer it. As I said earlier, I spent 30 years in full contact puppet fighting. You want to know how many times this nose was broken? There ain't no more cartilage left in this nose. Look at that.
I was going to say yeah, you're right. Yeah, I was
going
to say.
Scrotum now. It just hangs there.
I'm surprised if it got hit again. You might look like Gonzo. It might go like this and then point down. I could see that.
Gonzo, he's a cute kid. I like that kid.
Get along well. Yeah. I mean, maybe. Yeah. How did he ever participate in the fighting? And how did he do?
Oh, he was our towel. We used to wipe our ass with him.
Knobcraft has a guy. Why do you look like Green Bean? And are you familiar with Green Bean? Have you ever had a conversation with the infamous Green Bean?
No, I don't get on the good shows. I mean, I'm familiar with him, but he hasn't met me. I was thinking of showing up at his barbecue, before opening day, see if I can get a little something. But I don't get the big name places. I'm on the Wacky Wednesdays. I'm not on the Green Beans.
The Wacky Wednesdays. Well, have you thought about doing your own show, Lou? I mean, what kind of content would you offer? Would it be Jets focused, or what else are you really into? Like, what are you most passionate about besides taking other men's wives?
I mean, I'm not here to pitch my self or plug myself, but since you asked, I just created a tiki-taki channel like the kids do, the tiki-takis. It's called Let and Go with Lou Stools. I'm going to be doing a commentary on the world today because the world today can use a little commentary. Not enough people are sharing their opinions, from my understanding.
That is very true. Yeah, people really need to learn how to be more open and talk about how they're feeling. Yeah, absolutely much needed.
Yeah, so I'm going to do that. Let and Go with Lou Stools. You can find me on the TikToks. I haven't TikToked yet, but I'm trying to figure out how to TikTok, tickety-tock. We're going to TikTok, tickety-tock.
TikTok around the clock. 1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, talk, that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly like that. Those will be some happy days.
I like that. Happy days are here again. Well, you want to talk about we could talk about things going on in the world. Yeah, any solution that you have maybe to lower the gas prices and the inflation? I mean, what do you think can be done about that?
Buy a goddamn electric car. What's the matter with you guys? Driving pickup trucks and SUVs, supply and demand. Use less gas, it'll be cheaper. That's how it works. It also don't help that Russia started a goddamn war.
Oh boy.
Hey, Mr. Jeremy, when you want me to leave, you just kick me off. Okay, I don't want to take up your whole show. You know, I don't want to be disrespectful of your time. I know you got stuff to make your money here.
Arkansas Jets fan Lou, how many people have accidentally tried to eat you?
17.
Yeah, an answer.
Yeah. The goddamn kids today with the avocado toast, they keep trying to spread me. I mean, I have nothing against the millennials with the avocado toast. Just don't spread me. Keep it to yourself.
Who do you think will be? Who do you think is going to be Zach's #1 target this year? Corey Davis or Elijah Moore?
I think it's going to be Elijah. You know why? Because you want to score more. You don't want to score Davis. That's simple math.
Why didn't we think of that? That's oh my God! What Connor Hughes and Rich Samedi are going to steal that for their next podcast. You just watch.
Score more with Elijah Moore.
More with Elijah Moore. Okay, what do you think about the current head coach, Robert Saleh? What's your opinion on our head coach as of right now?
I don't know. The most important thing that he could do as a head coach, right, is to get us a new team. And what did he do in the draft? He got us a goddamn new team. So let's see. If these things work out, then he's doing the job, even if we didn't see it till now, right? We got to give him the chance to do something with the team he's put together.
This guy might be better than Dom C. Maybe this could be my Sunday night guy.
Dom, if you've ever been more insulted in your life, I would like to know what it was.
Sundays I make a good, Sunday sauce. So I'm simmering all night. I do a lot of simmering.
Oh my God! Again, hey Chad, if you do have any other questions for Lou, we're gonna have him here for a little bit longer. Yeah, you are more than welcome to. He'll take any questions that you have.
What was that?
You feeling all right there?
Yeah, just stretching a little bit. You know it is.
I thought that sounded like a belch in my book, but okay. There we go. That's more like it. Okay, well done.
Sorry, I had a beer before the show.
Not enough beers apparently, but
there's never enough. I still hear the screaming. I still hear their cries in the night, no matter how much I drink. I'm sorry.
So what is your favorite? Yeah, and you've been a Jets fan for how long now? How far back do you go?
Sack exchange years.
Sack exchange years. Okay, so in that time, that's about 40 years or so. What's been your favorite memory as a Jets fan since that time?
There's only one.
Not many. Yeah, not many. I know.
Richard Todd just throwing interception after interception after interception. It erased all of the memories from my mind.
Wow, that's rough.
I haven't been able to write the number 14 since.
Yeah. You mean you didn't get? So you had a little trouble getting into Fitzmagic during 2015? Didn't work out so well for you.
The pain. Every time I watch it, it's like pain. It's like sticking a Q-tip really far in your ear. You know you're not supposed to do it, and it hurts, but you kind of like it at the same time.
Wow, Jeremy, I actually understood that reference. He's yeah, I completely understand that. And hey Mo, you know what? I bet Lou Stools actually might be a better quarterback than Zach. So I'm sure that would have you pretty excited.
Really?
Yeah, it's very
I
possible.
throw some stuff around, but I don't know if I can do a Zach attack like they say. You know.
Yeah. So who else? Actually, yeah, I do have another question. You talked about the fighting that you did, the full contact fighting.
Yeah.
Who was your greatest rival in those days when you were doing the
Oh,
fighting?
the hot dog vendor. Oh man, he had a foot long you wouldn't believe.
That's what she said.
Yeah. He really like I ate his lunch, you know what I'm saying?
I can't believe you just worked in it. That's what she said. Comment.
He really knew to put the mustard on a hit, you know.
Nick would appreciate it, I'm sure.
Right up my buns. He had me steamed. I couldn't believe it.
Grant Tyson still is working on getting us subscribers.
I don't know if this is going to be doing you any favors.
Help the algorithm. We want everybody.
Arkansas. I remember the iconic Tyson versus Stools boxing match. Yeah, so tell us about that fight you had with Tyson. Did he attempt to bite your ear off? Anything like that? What was it like going against Iron Mike there?
I've never been so lucky to be made of felt. Let me tell you, even a puppet can't stand up to Mike Tyson. One punch, man, one punch. I could feel his fist in my colon right through my mouth. He was like right down my. He raped me worse than the girls in a hotel room. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, Christ.
Don't forget, Mike Tyson is a rapist. Don't forget.
Oh my God.
We've heard, but I didn't know that he had a thing for well, he didn't have a thing for felt, thankfully. So I guess you were safe. Okay, so we can all breathe a big sigh of relief on that one.
Yeah, I mean, he just did it to me physically with the fisting, if you know what I mean. Somehow he got a fist up inside me where a fist is not supposed to go.
I think we understood the reference. Yeah.
God. All right. So look, Lou, you asked to be on the show.
Yeah. So this was fun. I'll let you go. I'll let you go do your little sports talk. Thanks for letting me on. It was lovely getting to know you. Adam, I'll be seeing you in your dreams.
You know, you're probably not wrong.
Yeah, I know how it works. Once you had a taste of me, it's hard. That's what she said.
Once you go Lou, you never go back. I've heard.
Right. Once you go green, you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Lou. Well, maybe we'll have
Green
you back
machine.
after games for reactions or in the future.
Yeah.
We'll do a poll and see what people want. But
That's beautiful.
It's been very interesting.
You guys are great. Keep up the good work.
Thanks for joining us, man. It was fun. We appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
I'm out of here.
All right.
He's literally exiting stage left.
Oh my God! Wow. Oh my God! He walked away.
He did something away.
He walked away. Did you see him walk away?
Yeah, that's how we'll exit. We'll just go from now on.
He walked away. It was like this.
Oh my gosh, we had no idea what was going to happen. Just that we knew he was in the background and what he wanted to come on. We had no idea what to expect.
Oh my God.
We hope you enjoyed that. As wacky as it would be, hey, you wanted the wackiness? You got the wackiness on this Wednesday.
What did I start in this show and this channel? What did I start?
We should have ended with that, not started with it. That's my only thing. Oh,
just when you thought it couldn't get crazier than J. Cole, but we should do a poll. Who do people like better? Loose
Can we do polls? Yeah, we have poll access now.
I don't know. I don't know if you have to be at 1,000. I never tried. I got to learn that technology. But we have to see who's more popular: Loose Stools or J. Cole.
Boy, it's like, wow. How would you rather die getting drowned or shot in the head?
Well, at least this guy didn't dance. Really, real answers. But you know, J. Cole had real answers too. But at least this guy doesn't come into the chat and attack everybody and piss everyone off.
That is true. At least he's only talked about the women he has stolen away as opposed to the ones he wants to steal away. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think he's the type who's going to be looking to have a wedding anytime soon. I think he's doing okay, living the bachelor lifestyle. So
My brother says you probably shouldn't say pole around Lou.
good call, Matt.
Yeah. Oh, looks like Lou.
By the way, Matthew, you'll appreciate. So I subscribed to the Cravat Attack channel. I actually watched one of those hot sauce videos this week. So it is quite entertaining watching the cravats torture themselves with heat.
You watched the Hoff one that I sent you, right? Because I wanted you to.
I watched the Hoff one, yeah.
And did you order the Hoff sauce?
Not yet. The reason is because they have a store locator on there. And I was looking to see if it was sold locally in Virginia, and they're sold at Ace Hardware.
Yes.
And so I called 4 different Ace Hardwares in the area. None of them have ever heard of the line. So I emailed them and said, hate to tell you, but the store locator is not correct. None of them have heard of the brand. So they said, oh, would you like us to send you a discount code so you can order online? I'm like, I think I would like that. So I'm waiting for that code. And when it does, I will order a couple of Hoff hot sauce products from the great area of Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Those are when you thank them. Like if you send any more correspondence, mention that the Cravat sent you because they know us.
I will do that.
Yes.
I will do that.
So,
I even saw that they responded to the video, which was pretty. That's pretty awesome, right there.
oh yeah, they know who we are. So if you say, by the way, the Cravats recommended me or recommended you to me, like to get the hot sauce or whatever, they'll know who we were. Watching one of your thoughts on trading for Isaiah Simmons from the Cardinals. Depends what we have to give up. I think, I'm not taking it seriously. I don't take rumors like that seriously. But if it was real, it wouldn't be a bad thing for us to trade for him as long as we didn't give up. I don't think we should start giving up draft capital. I don't think we should change our plan as an organization unless it's giving up late picks or mid round to later picks that we've
some type of conditional pick. Yeah, I mean
conditional pick.
The bottom line is this: the guy has, I believe, 2 interceptions and 3.5 sacks in 2 years for the number 8 overall pick in the draft 2 years ago. He was supposed to be the Swiss Army knife of their defense. I believe he was either the first or the second defensive player picked in that draft. He was certainly picked very early, and and the reality is he's underachieved. I think right now you could actually pry him away for maybe a 5th, maybe a 6th that could turn into a 5th, something like that. I'm not too big on trading assets. We need help at linebacker more than anything, I think, in terms of position. That's definitely, in my opinion, our biggest weakness. But I would rather have somebody who's a little bit more proven and has a little bit more of a track record of production. Isaiah Simmons, I hate to say it, he's well on his way to being, I hate to use the word, but he's on his way to being a bust. I'm sorry to say it.
I mean, it feels like every time we try to reach for these guys that were highly thought of and then disappointments, they stay disappointments. Jared Davis, we'll see if Sheldon Rankins could do better this year. And if he doesn't, it's just, at what point do you realize when they don't pan out, they just don't pan out?
One of honestly, who was the last reclamation project the Jets had that worked out? Vinny Testaverde?
Yeah, pretty much.
I hate to say it, but I feel like I got to go back 25 years. I actually just got a text from a good friend of mine in Arkansas. She said, just tuned in. Who is on your show tonight? Laughing emoji. So the legend of Lou Stools is spreading from Virginia to California to New York to Arkansas and all points in between. So.
If they could only have seen our reaction when we saw the little window on the bottom. And you saw it first. You said, "Oh God." You said, "Oh God." You looked down, and I had my thing scrolled, and when I scrolled and I saw it, I didn't know what the hell was going on. I didn't know if we were going to get to see a person holding a puppet. I didn't realize it was going to go like that. I was in such shock. You had to ask the questions. I wasn't even ready to do an interview because I was just in shock. It was like we were looking at a humanized puppet. It was crazy.
No, he was real. He was real. He had to be real. Arkansas, Adam, you should grow out the beard as long as possible. I am no Sean McAteer, and I am no Green Bean. For me, I got the thick on the neck, but on the face, it doesn't grow in as thick as I would want. I've grown it out for like 2 months at a time, but plus now, to be honest, it kind of grows in a little bit grayer than I would want on my jawline. So I don't know. I think the beard thing is in the past. I could grow out the goatee a little bit. Maybe I could do like ZZ Top, but I could just just do a goatee version of it instead of the full beard. Maybe, I don't know. I'm sure that would work out beautifully.
Peo Time is in the house.
Yeah. Hey,
which is,
Peo.
Pretty awesome. What's up, Peo? Everybody knows I did the Moof show with him, where I picked my prediction. I made a prediction for every Jet game, and if you haven't went up to Peo Time's channel, he interviews a fan from every team and is getting their predictions. I think the Steelers fan was on very recently. He has them going something like 9-8 or something like that. So, which was interesting. So, not a homer. He's getting people with like real, opinions. I probably look more ridiculous than the Steelers fan, to be honest. But anyway, check that out at Peo Time, LA Rams YouTuber. Please give your belief on a scale of 1 to 10 that quarterback Zach is going to be franchise or not eventually. I believe, I don't know what you mean by franchise. I mean, I don't assume that doesn't mean he has to be a top 5 or elite. It just means that he's going to be our quarterback for another, let's say for a second contract, 10 years.
Okay.
At least.
How about he be like, say, Matt Ryan or Phillip Rivers, that level?
Okay.
I think that's fair.
Fair enough. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm a little bit of a homer on this. I'm going to say 8.
Okay. At this point, I'm going to go 6. I'm not quite at that level. I know he has the talent to do it. I did a video recently, 2 days ago, explaining some of the areas where I feel Zach really needs to improve on in order to grow. And, particularly short, the accuracy, the passes behind the line of scrimmage, knowing when to throw the ball away, knowing when to take a chance down the field. Now, my optimism is, if you look at his high school days, you look at his college days, he has made a notable improvement from year 1 to year 2, both of those times. I don't see any reason he can't do the same thing this year, especially when you consider the receivers that are around him, the running backs that are around him, and the improvement in the offensive line. But at the end of the day, I got to see that he can read a defense and that he can make better decisions with the football. So I believe it can happen. Maybe after all the disappointments we've had with Jets quarterbacks, I'm a little bit hesitant to go all in on it.
Yeah, I admit I'm a little bit of a homer about it. So
I'm all homered out. The homer's been beaten out of me.
The reality might be it's a 7. It's kind of like if you average us out. The thing I was definitely down to a 5 after week 7 or whatever. If you asked me mid-season, I was having like freaking panic attacks about it. But after watching him the second half of the year when he came back, and I started to believe again. I started to realize, like, look, as he's learning to read the defenses, as he's getting experience and adjusting to the speed, like I already know the talent. I already know the arm talent, the escapability. Like I know what he can do physically. It was just a matter of, can he adjust to the game? And I think the fact that he started that adjustment to the speed of the game so quickly, like he came back from the injury and there it was. He was adjusting. He was learning from his mistakes. He wasn't playing hero ball. To me, that's why I'm back at an 8, because I was like, wow, he's getting it. He's processing it. And man, once he feels comfortable, when it really happens and that game is slowed down for him, that arm talent is up there with the top quarterbacks in the NFL. So I'm super excited about him.
Cool. Oh, I think there was one other question that I thought was that was pretty interesting here. Oh, from Peo Time. Let's do this one here. What team could you see going from worst to first in their division in 2022? All right, so that's a good question. Just to troll you a little bit, I'm tempted to say the Seattle Seahawks, but I don't think that's going to happen. So let's go through the 8 teams that finished last in their division last year. We had the Jets, of
You're
course.
so organized. You're ready for the question like that? Okay.
Oh yeah, I know it's. Hey, you have me on for a reason, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you got the Jets. You have the Ravens. They tied with the Browns, but with tiebreakers, the Browns finished ahead of the Ravens. The Jaguars, the Broncos, the Giants, the Lions, the Panthers, and the Seahawks. To me, it definitely has. To me, there's only two teams that make sense here. Baltimore is one, and Denver is the other. Denver actually did finish 7-10 last year. They didn't exactly have a terrible season. And with the upgrade they made at quarterback, I think Kansas City's also a little more vulnerable than they will. I think the Chiefs, the Chargers, and the Broncos could be in the middle of an absolute three-way race for that division. I'm not as sold on the Raiders as maybe some other people are. I think that division's very tight. And the AFC North is just, to me, it's a complete mystery. If they played that division 4 times, you could have 4 different division winners if they played out the season. A lot of it comes down to Deshaun Watson because, everyone's talking about the quarterback, but if you look at the rest of the Browns roster, they have an amazing lineup. They really have a great roster, the Browns do.
Yeah. I like the Denver take because if Russell Wilson fits in there and resumes even 90% of his prime, that with that defense and that running game and some of the receivers on that team, Denver could be very, very dangerous if Russell Wilson blends in well with them. That's a really good take. I think that Denver could really be a dominant team. And I could definitely see it happen. I mean, were the Ravens on the list of the worst in their division? Do they count or qualify?
Say that again.
The Ravens.
Oh yeah. The Ravens were considered the last place team last year. So
the Ravens are a reasonable pick too, because if Lamar Jackson has a bounce back season, they get their running backs back, and they got a great tight end, and they got you have good running back, good tight ends, okay receivers, a good defense. It's not impossible that the Ravens win and take that division, especially with Cleveland having quarterback issues, Pittsburgh having quarterback issues. I mean, that could definitely lead to a Ravens, opportunity to take that division and go worst to first.
And even last year, if you just look at the standings, Cincinnati had 10 wins, Pittsburgh had 9, Cleveland and Baltimore both had 8. Only 2 games separated first place from last place.
Right. And that was a lot of bad things for the Ravens.
Absolutely.
It's not asking for a really big step up from them. As a matter of fact, they're definitely the favorite to at least be second. I would definitely put them ahead of Pittsburgh and Cleveland based on the quarterback situation. They're now the only thing left is Cincinnati, and it's not exactly like Cincinnati was a dominant team or anything. They had a great run at the end in the playoffs, but we don't know if that's going to translate to being like a 13-win team or anything in the AFC. That they might not. So yeah, I think the Ravens, I would definitely say they have the best odds.
And you know what's interesting about Baltimore? I didn't even know this. Did you know at one point last year they were 8-3 and they lost their last 6 games to finish under 500?
I didn't realize. I didn't realize that.
It's crazy. They haven't won a game since, I guess it would be early to mid-November.
Right, and that's the kind of thing that can get fixed, right? I mean, whatever went wrong, whatever created that situation, like wasn't there like Lamar got hurt? Not that their backup did bad, but there's you just when you have a collapse like that. There might be reasons that are now fixable and repairable. And like you just said, that means that they were able to play very dominantly for the first half of the season. So yeah, I would have to say the Ravens have the best shot. But Denver's a good pick too in their division. Like the only problem with Denver that they have is that, the Chargers and, I think the Raiders are in trouble, and I think Kansas City is going to be dethroned. And I don't know who it's going to be. Is it going to be the Chargers or the Broncos? But if it's the Broncos, then they do it. So that's a good pick also. The Ravens, the Broncos. It's certainly very feasible. We just named 2 teams who I don't think either of us would be shocked won the division, right? I would not be
Not at all.
shocked by either one of those teams. So I would go with those teams. Those are the guys I would go with.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, if you look at the teams in the NFC, the NFC, it seems like the AFC has a lot more parity. In the NFC, it seems like you're either really good or you're horrible. There's not much middle. There's not a whole lot of mediocrity in the NFC, it seems. So,
yeah. The only thing that's gonna control the AFC West is each other. The fact that they have to play each other twice is gonna be one of the things that makes it like that they don't, like controls the records. Like, like, oh, they're all going to go 14-3. Well, not really, because they all have to play each other. So it's like they're not all going 14-3. Like some of them are going to get beat up. I think the Raiders are in the most danger because they've been a very up and down team. They could very easily go 6-11. I don't think it would shock anyone because they do it all the time. They give their fans all this hope and then they just fall apart.
Yeah, it's true. And, I think Matthew made a point about he said Denver's offensive line is pretty lousy. I got to tell you, the Raiders' offensive line isn't much better. They had the splashy move with Devontae Adams. They have Max Crosby. But if you look at, they're not a deep team. They got a couple of superstars, but this is not a deep team by any stretch, particularly in the back part of the defense. And, yeah, I got to say, I'm not exactly sold on the depth of the. It's hard for me to say Las Vegas, but the Raiders.
Yeah, no, the Raiders are a shaky team. I've been, I'm here local. I know a lot of their fans, and there's plenty of seasons they go in thinking they're really good, and then they end up being really bad. So, as a matter of fact, if you ask me who's going to come in last place in that division, I would say the Raiders pretty easily.
By default, somebody has to come in last.
Yeah.
It's like if one thing goes wrong, it's going to spiral for them. It's going to get out of control. Yep. I don't know if they're tough enough to handle adversity like I would say Kansas City is or the Chargers are, teams like that.
Yeah. And I think that like if we were playing the Jets like next year or next season or whatever, like if we're playing the Raiders, I'm sorry, I would expect that we're going to freaking beat the Raiders. So
no reason we can't.
So, I'm not afraid.
Nobody's going to know Devontae Adams is on the field because we got Sauce Gardner on him.
I am not. I'm not afraid. Like Derek Carr does not. There's no fear. He doesn't put any fear into me.
I respect Derek Carr as a good quarterback, but we never quite got to see what he could be. I think if he hadn't gotten hurt during that one season a couple years ago when he was really starting to emerge, and then Oakland had to play that playoff game, I believe, that wild card game with a backup quarterback, and they just couldn't do it. I don't think he's ever quite recovered from that game and the end of that season. And it's kind of unfortunate, in all fairness. But hey, they gave him a contract. They gave him a heck of a contract, so he's got to be feeling pretty good.
Yeah. Hey, no, and we're not. And the Raiders aren't. I mean, look, they're going to score points because of Devontae Adams, but a wide receiver does not make a team. Also is look, Devontae Adams is definitely very good. Like he's there's no question he's a great wide receiver, a great athlete, and all that, but. Is he better than all the other top wide receivers? Is he the best, or was it the situation? Are there a lot of wide receivers that could have played in Green Bay that we'd be calling the best wide receiver right now if they got to play in Green Bay, right? So, I mean,
look at all the guys who were in Green Bay, then they left Green Bay, and then you never hear from them again.
Right.
There's so many. Aaron Rodgers, oh my gosh. I've never seen a quarterback make so much out of so little.
Yeah. So, I mean, it definitely accounts for something. It definitely accounts for something when you have a quarterback as good as Aaron Rodgers, and it helps your numbers as a wide receiver. There's just no way to argue that fact. So Devontae Adams is definitely really good, and these past years would have been a number one receiver anywhere, and has years left to be a number one receiver. But we don't know that it's going to be those really jump at you numbers. He might on the Raiders be more like the other number one receivers that are like 1,100-yard receivers. But I don't know if we're going to see 1,500 yards out of Devontae Adams on the Raiders. Like, I expect a drop-off in those numbers.
Oh, most definitely. Although I will say it might help him that he has Darren Waller on the field at the same time as he does, because Adams never had a weapon anywhere near that good for years when he was in Green Bay. It was Devontae Adams. End of story. So you combine Adams and Waller, that's pretty hard to cover.
Yeah. Modine has a different take, but who are they going to beat out in that division, Modine? Who are they better than? Are they better than the Denver Broncos? I mean, I'm not saying they're not, but I mean, are they better? I'm just posing the question. Are they better than the San Diego Chargers? That's the team to me. I mean, as much as I was talking up Denver, San Diego, my God.
They're ridiculous.
They are stacked. They're just completely stacked.
I would love to know what the over-under is on the Chargers and just how like Vegas and, all the big sports books, what they think of them. Because it's like automatic that you're going to expect the Chiefs to win the division. I don't think it's so automatic anymore. I think actually I started doing some predicting of the standings, what I think it's going to look like. I'm trying to get an idea for it in my mind. And I'm actually right now, I'm thinking the Chargers and Chiefs tie. We know San Diego sounds better. Okay. Please. But I think those two teams are going to finish tied with the same record, and it's going to come down to tiebreakers. That's one bold prediction. That's one prediction I do have.
Yes. It's very reasonable belief that would happen. I mean, you got 4 teams that are all very competitive, obviously, based on last year. And, I mean, you could very well expect that they're all going to be in that 10 to 12 win range to up to 13 wins, 10, 11, 12, 13, whatever it is. So knowing that they all have a chance to be in that range, it wouldn't be a surprise if 2 of them happen to be on top of the division together with that record. I think that if they split, then you got that as a tiebreaker that won't count. And then you got to look at their divisional records, and that might even be equal because of the fact that they're playing those tough division games. So you might not only end up with a tie on top of that division, but you might end up with one that goes pretty deep into the tie-breaking formula.
Yeah, like what is it? What was he after that? Conference record, common games?
Yeah, division. I think it's division, then conference.
Then conference? Okay, it seems like it changes, but
for games against each other, division, then conference, then common opponents.
Conference, then common. Okay. All right, that makes sense. All right. Well, would you like to? I think we got some people in the chat who are asking us to get into this all 22, or in this case, all 24. And we
most negative Jet fans alive.
It's
the most negative Jet fan I've ever met.
He's up there. He makes Beningo look like Ira from Staten Island. My gosh. But so yeah, we could actually get into this all 24 here. Now I got the rankings for all 32 teams. Now I don't think we're going to go through each and every single lineup, but we will go through. Certainly, we'll go through the AFC East. Any particular team that you want us to go through, we could break it down. But I'm just going to give a couple of disclaimers because I'm going to say 1 or 2 things here that I know it's going to get a few people upset, but we got to have some way to rank this stuff. Okay. So what was done here is this was based off Pro Football Focus grades. Okay. And they rated 12 offensive players and 12 defensive players on every team. And they rated them on a scale, basically 1 to 100. And the rankings kind of go like this. Okay. If you're 90 or above, you're elite. 80 to 89 is a good player to high quality. 70 to 79 is average. And if you're 69 or lower, you're considered below average. So they rated every single player. I know this is going to be great already. And for rookies, because they did include rookies on this, they used their college grades. Or for a player like Carl Lawson, who didn't play last season, they took their previous season's grade and they went with that. So that's how this was done. So let's go ahead and just start with the Jets. Why don't we? So let's go ahead and ask you this question. So out of the 32 teams, what number do you think the Jets rank out of the entire NFL? Out of 32 teams, and chat, let us know what you think too. I'm gonna check
20. I'm going to say 27th.
27th. Okay. Let's get a couple of and let's wait for a couple of reactions from the chat. Mess is 29. Arkansas is 18. Nathan 25. Knobcraft is the opposite of Mo. He says 7th. GVH says 30. And Sean McAteer has it exactly right. 24.
Of course he has it exactly right. He is the defender of Temecula. His name is Sean McAteer. Sean McAteer. He's a McAteer, the #1 defender of Temecula McAteers. So 24 is a little better than I thought.
It is. When you look at the power rankings, we're always like 31 or 32. So I was actually kind of pleasantly surprised. So let's go through some of these player rankings because these are just fascinating to me. They really are. So let's start with the offense. Now, Zachary Capono Wilson, our quarterback. They rated Zach. Now, remember what I said earlier with the rankings. If you're 70 to 79, you're average. 69 or lower, you're below average. They rated Zach as a 59.3. The only quarterbacks in this entire list that were worse were, you're going to love it, Davis Mills and Sam Darnold.
Oh, my God.
So, Zach, it's so bad. Geno Smith is the Seattle quarterback. He got a 73.9.
That's amazing.
That Geno Smith, who we all know well.
The bust.
I don't know what about him is average, aside from his ability to take a punch. I can't think of one thing. I really don't know.
Okay.
So, yeah, Zach got a 59. These others I'll go through a little bit. Actually, let's do it this way. I think this would be fun. We had no players who ranked 90 or above. Not one. We apparently have no elite talent by the PFF standards. But we had 5 players who ranked as good or high quality, who ranked in the 80s. So, chat, let's throw this to you. Name the 5 players that PFF and ESPN who are on the Jets that they say are average to, who are like good to high quality players, good quality players.
Well, Laken Tomlinson has to be on that top 5, right?
No,
he's all pro guard.
No, this is what I'm talking about. No, remember
Fans?
rookies are eligible for this. I'm just going to say that. Mess. Wait till I get to Mosley. Oh, you're going to love this one.
Fans?
Ty Conklin? Nope.
They got to have Fant up there, George Fant.
Nope. We got a lot of guys in the 70s. I will say that. All right. Let's see. Mess. Yep. Sauce Gardner. Sauce Gardner is the highest ranked player on our team, 87.1.
He hasn't had a chance to screw it up.
He hadn't had a chance to do anything wrong yet. Yep. So Sauce is number 1. It gets better. So number 2 is Breece Hall, 86.6. Number 3, I know. It gets better. Garrett Wilson, number 3, 84.1. Number 4, you can probably guess who number 4 is by now.
Ruckert. Oh, Jermaine Johnson.
It's JJ, 82.3. And number 5, the only returning player we have with an 80 ranking is John Franklin Myers. That's it.
Quinnen Williams is not an 80 or above?
Quincy Williams is a 64. Guys, again, this is just all for entertainment. This is just for fun, you know.
What is
CJ
Mosley?
This is bullshit. CJ Mosley is a 42.
Who did this? Modine? Is Modine the guy? Modine. This must have been. This is Modine's. This is what he does for a living.
Isn't this great? I think it's some guy named Ben. Ben, who wrote the article? At least Ben Lindsay. Whoever has anybody ever even heard of this guy? He's like the latest Statcast geek that they probably hired to come up with a bunch of numbers. So breaking down each roster using the PFF database, and this is what they're giving us. So they've got, I'm just going to roll through some of these other ones that I think are pretty good here, and then I'll give you like an overall ranking. So we had 5 guys in the 80s. 8 in the 70s, 6 in the 60s, and 5 in the 50s or below. Our lowest ranked player is CJ Mosley at a 42.
What?
How in the world? I know he's limited, but CJ Mosley is ranked at 42. Quincy Williams is ranked at 44.2. Apparently, you and I can play linebacker better than these two can. That's for a lot less money too. So, yeah, 44.2. Yeah, Sheldon Rankins is a 46.1. That one I actually don't have too much of a problem with. This is a good one. Michael Carter II, 53.
What? That doesn't make any sense.
Ow!
He was like a top 10 slot corner. What are they talking about?
I don't even know. And then with the offensive line. Now, what was you remember what our biggest gripe with the offensive line was, right? Last year?
Yeah,
Do you
well,
remember?
Greg Van Roten.
Yes, Greg Van Roten was rated higher than Elijah Vera Tucker. Let's go through the offensive line rankings. I know. That was the best one. George Fant, 71.1. Lakin Tomlinson, 73.6. So he's just a little bit past below average in the average scale.
It's an accident that he's an all-pro guard.
Yeah. Our highest ranked offensive lineman, Connor McGovern, 75.9. I know that'll trigger a few of our friends. Mekhi Becton, 74.4. That's not bad. AVT, this is the one we're going to love, 66.8.
What the fuck are they talking about?
Come on, guys. Just come on.
What are they smoking? It's just insanity.
And some of the other notable ones, some of the guys we had in the 70s, these were the other guys in the 70s. Elijah Moore, 71.2. I can understand that because maybe he has to show a little bit more durability. All right, I got no huge issue with that.
Okay, what about Michael Carter?
Michael Carter, the running back, was not ranked.
Why?
Because, well, they picked 12 players and they went with 2 tight ends and 3 wide receivers. Breece Hall was the only running back they looked at. So, yeah. Yeah, they put Corey Davis at 68.8, so they say that he's below average. I mean, please. Carl Lawson, 76.3.
They're going by sacks.
They're going by sacks.
From Cincinnati, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see who else. DJ Reed, 78.6, even though he has been considered one of the absolute top cover corners last year. Jordan Whitehead. Take a guess on Jordan Whitehead. This is
the fact that Jordan Whitehead is not over 80 is absolutely insane.
Jordan Whitehead is ranked as a 70.7.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. He's like the number 3 ranked box safety.
Yeah. Chris Bradigan, where's Elijah Moore? 71.2.
Wow.
So apparently Elijah Moore, George Fant, Jordan Whitehead are barely qualify as average, according to PFF.
PFF can go fuck themselves, man.
And we're still ranked 24th. By this standard, there's 8 teams worse than us.
I mean, all you have to do is forever. If someone says, well, PFF, whatever, any argument to defend them, anytime anybody ever tries to defend PFF, all you have to do is say one thing. They have Greg Van Roten ranked above AVT. And that's all you need to know about PFF as far as what a unreliable, just piece of crap organization that is. How political it is. I wonder if it's like they get paid money. Who knows what their real motivation is, but they are not trying to provide any factual or good information to football fans, because that is such a joke. You have to know nothing about football. Like you've never watched football in your life to not know how much better AVT is than GVR in football.
And Zach Wilson being ranked below Justin Fields and Trey Lance. How does Trey Lance even have a ranking at this point? The guy played 5 minutes last year.
Right, and he played for he didn't play as well in college than Zach Wilson did.
Yeah, I mean, he was Taysom Hill last year. That was his job. He was like a less controversial Kaepernick.
They don't even know. There was some doubt whether he was ready to be a starter. There was a rumor that they were saying he wasn't ready to be a starter, and if Jimmy G got healthy, they were going to start him again. Can you imagine if they start year 2 and are still not starting Trey Lance after trading all of that capital up to that pick to get him, that would be a catastrophe. That's telling the world we made a tremendous mistake. There's no way you draft a guy third in the draft and want him to not contribute to your team for the first 2 years of his rookie deal. That's an absolute disaster for an organization.
This isn't 1998 where you can sit a backup quarterback for 2 years, even 3 years, and nobody's going to raise a fuss over it.
Yeah.
He has to be ready to go. You pretty much get 1 year, and that's it. And that's probably being kind. And that's only if you have a good, a credible, let's say, quarterback already playing, like Alex Smith was for Kansas City before Patrick Mahomes entered the picture and transformed the franchise. So, but if you do the overall ranking here, I averaged out all 24 players here. I'm just trying to think if there's anybody else we missed. Oh, LaMarcus Joyner was a 67. Trying to think. Sheldon Rankins, I said 46.1. And I think, and our tight ends. Yeah. CJ, 63.6. Tyler Conklin, 66.7. Both below average tight ends, evidently.
How can they say that? Because maybe because the injuries, like there's no way Tyler Conklin wasn't a better than average tight end last year. He was a huge surprise even to Minnesota. They wanted him back, and Cincinnati wanted CJ back.
Absolutely, they wanted him back. It's been documented. He said that himself. But yeah, our overall ranking per player would be 68.9. So on average, our starters are ranked as slightly below average compared to the rest of the NFL. All things considered. And that's with what? How many players? 2 players in the 50s and 3 players in the 40s, including our starting quarterback by their standards. And our slot cornerback, by the way, because we all know Michael Carter, by this standard, there's no way he can be anything below mid-70s in my mind. So
it doesn't make me, it's like it's more humorous and just shocking than it is angering. I don't get mad anymore with PFF because I already know that they're trash. Like, I know that they're trash. I know it's coming. I know that they're incompetent. I know that they're not real and they're fake and they're just people making money and scamming people. And however they're profiting is in a disgusting way because they've somehow developed this power of being respected when they're completely inept. Like, they're inept beyond belief. They're completely biased towards certain teams. I don't know if there's something in the background politically that's going on, if there's money they make to say certain things. Like, I don't know what they are, except all I can say is there's no integrity or anything valid about PFF. It is just complete trash. And it reminds me of like the trade magazines in high tech when they would do these rankings, like Gardner Group would rank these technologies in this matrix, and people didn't realize that they'd say, how come that shitty company with that horrible product is like ranked the highest? Well, that company paid Gardner Group the most money in advertising in their magazine. So that's what really controlled where you are in the matrix. So I don't know who's behind it, but all I know is all you have to say is they ranked Van Roten above AVT to know that is a trash organization, and nobody should trust anything PFF says.
Yeah, maybe Consumer Reports, that magazine works the same way. Hey, maybe they consulted with Samini and they asked his recommendations on some of these rankings. It wouldn't surprise me if that's what happened. But hey, just for fun, we can go through. By the way, the Bills were ranked number 1 overall. Greg Van Roten is not one of their starting 12, shockingly, because I think that would have lowered. Actually, no. If they put Van Roten in, it would probably improve them at guard. As a matter of fact, since they think he's like, they see Greg Van Roten, they think John Hanna,
right?
they think Art Shell. They think that caliber of a player. Evidently, you name the greatest guard of this generation. That's how they look at Greg Van Roten, apparently. But look at the other division rankings. So Buffalo was number 1, understandable. Miami, where do we think Miami was ranked? Let's try to guess Miami and New England. So how about Miami?
Well, if they're basing it on player rankings, probably Miami, because they have much more talent on their roster than New England.
Mm-hmm. What number do you think Miami would have been ranked though overall in the league?
Oh, overall in the entire NFL?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they had them like 14th. 15.
Yeah, not too far off. They got him ranked number 10. And by the way, they ranked Tua a 68.3, which is rather generous in my mind. But yeah, I'm just trying to see if there's anything too notable here.
They have Tua as like a much better quarterback than Zach.
They
Wilson.
do. Yeah, they do. They do. Apparently, videotape lies to them when you see those ducks. Those little.
I mean,
popcorn
don't get me
fingers.
wrong. I think Tua could end up being a very good quarterback, but like to already say that after Zach's rookie year, like to sit there and make that statement that he's a much like to have that much of a difference in the way you rank them is just silly.
It is pretty ridiculous. But yeah, when I had to go, as soon as I saw the Zach rating, I went straight to the Tua rating because I had to see how they compared the two, and they definitely did not disappoint my expectations. So, and then for the Patriots, where would we rank the Patriots overall in the league?
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna say that. I'm going to imagine that PFF kisses their butt and say that they rank them ninth.
Not that high. Not that high. They have him ranked 18th, but the best one, Mac Jones, 80.4. He is an above-average quarterback in the NFL. Mac freaking Jones, Macaroni Arm Jones himself.
They must have missed the playoff game against the Bills.
Oh, yeah, some of these are great. Oh, you're going to love these. Oh, this is stellar. I didn't even go into much depth on this. Damian Harris, 86.6. He's a good running back, but let's not make him out to be Jonathan Taylor right now.
My God.
Come on. I mean, I'm saving one for the end here because it's just the best one ever. Like, they don't even respect Matthew Judon. I thought Judon had a heck of a year last year, and he only got a 62.8. Not a whole lot of respect for him. But the best one is Cole Strange. Our buddy, the rookie, Cole Strange. Bill Belichick clearly did not know what he was doing. He was mocked by the league, mocked by the experts, mocked by fans all across the league. Well, how did PFF think of that particular draft pick, Cole Strange? What do you think the ranking for Cole Strange was?
So they have him ranked as a better player than AVT. That's what's coming, right? They're going to say that Cole Strange is better than AVT. That's what this so-called.
They're going to say Cole Strange is they're going to say Cole Strange is a better offensive lineman than anybody else on the Jets. In fact, they're going to say Cole Strange is better than all but two players on the Jets.
What do they have? Like an 84?
86.3.
That is absolutely disgraceful. They should be embarrassed.
They love their rookies. And PFF is really giving love to the rookies throughout this. I mean, the fact that our top four players are all rookies. I mean, I don't know what kind of judgment this is, but Cole Strange in 86?
Look, I like Cole Strange too. In the 4th or 5th round.
Oh, boy. It's just so entertaining to read. There's so many things that are just so absurd that you don't even know where to begin here. But and just to mention the other teams that were around the Jets. So the teams that finished below them were, I'm going 25 to 32 here: Detroit, the Giants, Carolina, Jacksonville, Seattle, Chicago, Atlanta, and the lowest ranked team was the Houston Texans.
I'm surprised they put the Jets above those teams.
I'm floored. I definitely figured that the Giants would be above them. They're so down on Sam Darnold. I think that's the only reason Carolina sank to where they were. I figured Jacksonville would be ahead of us, to be honest. So
yeah, that is kind of strange that they wouldn't have Jacksonville above us. But
yeah. Any other team or any other player you'd like me to look at just for fun? I know I'm putting you on the spot here, but
no. I'm curious about some things. I'm curious. Let me. How
Yeah,
about the San Diego Chargers? What are they ranked? Number 3?
I believe. Yeah, I got to scroll up here, but they're either 3 or 4. They're right there. I know 1 is Buffalo, 2 is Tampa. I got to go back up to the top. Okay. The Chargers are number 3. Yep, 3rd overall. they definitely got some. Let's see, they rank Khalil Mack the highest ranked player with a 92.5. Justin Herbert 90.1. See, I can understand those rankings. Those make sense.
Sure.
Yeah, no issue with any of these. And man, when you have three quarterbacks, J.C. Jackson, Asante Samuel, and Bryce Callahan, that's pretty good. Although they only rank J.C. Jackson as 78. So they consider him average as well, despite, I guess, sacks matter, but interceptions don't. So we've learned something here with PFF.
Right.
Joey Bosa, 85.8, by the way. So.
That's just interesting. Okay, I mean that at least they get they get that kind of obvious, right? It doesn't. Wow, I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, so it's saying that stats mean more than situation. I mean, like yeah, I could sit there and create a rankings by box scores and never watch football. But if it was that simple, then there would be no point in scouts, or there wouldn't be points in analysts. The whole art of it is you also have to be able to watch. You have to be able to recognize situation, which players were in better positions, had easier playbooks, or better protection, better receivers, better everything. There's so much that goes into knowing or rating, and we still don't know. Like, we still don't know who's the better quarterback in a lot of these situations because because there's no evidence that they're not. We don't know that Mac Jones is not going to be an excellent. He might never be known for his arm, but he might be an excellent quarterback. He might always be very accurate. He might overall play really well, and Tua might develop into the same kind of thing. We don't know for sure about any of these things, but to sit there and look at a box score, which is obviously what they're doing, they're obviously using none of the art. Like, it's all scientific based on a box score, some kind of crazy stat compilation they came up with, but none of it is based on actually understanding situation or what, or any of that. So it's just kind of weird.
It is a little funky. Oh, I think there is one other team that we should look at. I think we should look at our week 1 opponents, the Baltimore Ravens. Okay. Now, if you were to rank the Ravens, where would you rank the Birds overall in the NFL out of 32 teams?
16th.
Yeah, you're pretty close. They are ranked 12th, actually. A little bit higher
for a team that didn't make the playoffs, but they had injuries.
A lot of injuries. The injuries devastated them, and it's actually, some of these rankings are remarkable, especially with the rookies. So they rank Kyle Hamilton a 76. And considering how much love they give to rookies, I'm actually quite surprised that they ranked Hamilton as low as they did. Marcus Peters, they only ranked the 67. Marcus Williams, the safety, they ranked an 80. Makes sense. And the only other defensive player with an 80 ranking or higher is Calais Campbell. Now, if we go to the offense, here's where it gets interesting. So Lamar Jackson is only rated a 70.2. So he's at the bottom end of the average scale, is where he's ranked.
He had a bad year.
Yeah, he went to
one bad year though. One bad year.
They do have some elite talent. By the way, Morgan Moses is ranked on this. He's a 71, so he's at the bottom of the average scale as well. But some of the players they rank, Mark Andrews, they rank as a 91. Left tackle Ronnie Stanley, 89.4. But guess where they have their new center rank? Tyler Linderbaum. The Tyler Linderbaum ranking. What do you think they would have ranked for Tyler Linderbaum?
85?
95.4.
Wow.
Apparently they need to make the gold jacket for this guy already. Now, hey, if the Greg Van Roten, Elijah Vera Tucker comparison is any indication, Linderbaum will probably be out of the league in about 4 years. That's the only logic that I could take from this.
What did AVT do to make them?
I guess he wasn't quite as good of a pass blocker as they would have liked.
Better every week.
Maybe they focused on week 1. Maybe they just focused too much on week 1. I don't know what else. I can't think of after week 1. I can't really think of a game when I consider him to be a liability. He had his ups and downs, but that's pretty typical with a guard. But never for a second did I feel like they didn't. This was a bad trade by Joe Douglas. Never did I think it was a foolish pick. So. I guess the one thing that I would want to monitor with PFF is how their grade of AVT goes over the course of this season, because it'd be very interesting to see if they come around on our new, got to get used to saying it, our new right guard.
Yeah, what I really want to understand too is like I still don't get the CJ Mosley thing. Look, I don't think CJ Mosley was anything this
defense.
year. Like he never played a game that was better than the first game he played for us before he got hurt.
Right.
Like I understand he wasn't that linebacker. Different system though that didn't give him the opportunity. It wasn't like he wasn't his assignment wasn't to do that like the things he was assigned to do, but he was all over the field. He was the only one making tackles. He was like literally going sideline to sideline, having to stop everything. He was like the only guy in the second tier and the second level of the defense. I don't understand how they can rank him a 42. I just don't get it.
You know what? So they did write a little bit of a summary here, as if they were trying to justify some of these rankings, which was I give them credit for attempting to do it. They probably had some intern say, "Okay, here's these rankings. Try to make them make sense for the suckers who are reading this and are probably going to break them down on YouTube and on podcasts." So what they said was linebacker stands out as the position. They rank linebacker as the biggest weakness, obviously. They say linebacker is the position where the team needs to be better in 2022. Returning starters CJ Mosley and Quincy Williams both earned sub 45 PFF grades last season, stemming largely from how they performed against the run. Well, okay, considering how some of the other linebackers were playing, like Gerard Davis and the angles Ashton Davis was taking, I mean, Mosley could only do so much. And Quincy Williams, I can understand a lower ranking for him because he's very boomer bust. I can accept that. To me, I would actually have been offended if CJ Mosley was anything under, say, a 65. Because he may not make a whole lot of impact plays, but he makes the plays that he needs to make. Like if he gets his hands on the ball carrier is going down. So I mean, I never really looked at Mosley as a liability in run coverage last year. I mean, I wish he had a little more speed at times to help break up those screen passes. I mean, maybe maybe they just looked at all the screen passes run against the Jets and they decided to put all the blame on the linebackers. Maybe that had something to do with it.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe so. Well, if that's the case, we're in big trouble because we didn't change. So they get ready for another year of everybody screen passing the hell out of it against us. I thought that the difference is going to be the defensive line creating more pressure.
Yep.
And I thought it would be and reacting better to the screen. And I thought that Whitehead, and LaMarcus Joyner being back would kind of help in that area as well. And I kind of thought and hoped that Quincy Williams having a full off season to learn the system to eliminate his mistakes because he also made huge plays and it was very explosive. And then he made a lot of mistakes and misassignments, which is typical when you miss camp and you come in and you don't know the defense. And we were desperate enough that we had no choice. We had to put him in there, even though he wasn't ready based on not really understanding the scheme. But guess what? He's coming back and he understands the scheme and he's not going to, that athleticism is coming back with him. So,
yeah, I still don't understand why they didn't make a change at linebacker. And I think the only thing I can justify is, well, we know the front four fuels the defense. I guess their reasoning is as the front four goes, the rest of this defense will go. So, I mean, who knows? I feel like I have more hope for DQ than I do for any other undrafted free agent. I mean, I feel like I'm going to be pretty as hard for him as I am even more so say Bam Knight or an Irv Charles or any other undrafted free agent that you can name, because that is the position where if somebody can make the roster, it's going to be there. But hey, you know what? Maybe once cuts happen after that, maybe that second preseason game, I guess it would be. I would expect them to bring at least one cut linebacker onto this roster to give them a look, because I feel like they have to.
yeah.
We're talking about it over and over and over again. The run defense, it is going to take all 11 players to do it. And when you are facing a team like Baltimore, Minnesota, who has Dalvin Cook, and we could go on with a couple, the Patriots, they're going to be a run first offense as well. It is going to be pivotal that they are in synchronization on stopping the run and making the plays when they have the opportunity to make them and not having these other ball carriers, bust tackles on them. So pivotal.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. It would be a bummer if our defense is just crap because of the same thing. Like, that would be just a hard year to bear. If other teams just run up and down against us and do screen passes for 30-yard gains, that would be really, really
Miami,
frustrating.
man. Tua can't throw the ball. If Tua can't throw the ball down the field, why wouldn't they be doing screens all day long with Tyreek Hill? Make us stop it. If I'm the offensive coordinator for the Dolphins, if I'm Mike McDaniel, I'm dialing that up early and often, and let's see if the Jets can stop it.
Yeah, they address pretty much everything else, but they put so much into the defensive line, and they're going to be cutting some of those guys. Why didn't they? Not that he's great, but why wouldn't they have signed Quan Alexander? Or why wouldn't we? There were still linebackers left in the draft when we took Michael Clemens. Not that I don't love Michael Clemens, but why wouldn't we have used that pick on a linebacker though? There were guys that didn't get picked yet that we had all been looking at. So why? I just don't understand why. Why didn't we get one of these linebackers?
I don't think we're converting any of our defensive lineman to linebacker unless there's some sort of grand scheme that we're not aware of. So the Clemens pick was shocking. Maybe Clemens threatened them. They heard his voice and said, "Pick me," and if you don't, so. But hey, you know what? If we are getting to the quarterback multiple times a game, if we're leading the league in sacks, no problem.
Yeah.
And again, not every spot on your team is going to be great. There's always going to be room for improvement. We know that. But you want to be great and you want to be deep at the most pivotal positions on the field. And offensive line is that. And we have that, I think, on the interior of the offensive line. Tackle, to be determined. But we definitely have it at cornerback and we definitely have it at defensive line. So at least we have the depth at the key positions. That's something that gives me some optimism.
Yeah. Let me see. I like what GVH is saying here. I think from what I can see, one thing is secondary with Sauce. Whitehead, the linebacker stopping the run. That's what I'm hoping that's what it was last year, and that maybe that this year that's true. I mean, maybe we leave the four guys in the back and trust them because we trust all four players and the strength of our secondary and the linebackers can be more aggressive and be plugging holes and helping out up front. But I've never seen, it's very rare that you see a team have success if you can't stop the run. Like usually that's just one of those things where if you can't stop the other teams from running, you're done.
I feel like the only exception, I think it was the Colts when they won that first Super Bowl with Peyton, and they had pretty much the worst run defense in the league. But all of a sudden the playoffs came and they figured out how to stop the run. It was like magic. Maybe Bob Sanders actually decided to play that week. So I'm sure that that helped things. Thanks, JFU. Thanks for stopping in. And don't work too hard.
JFU, you are the man. If those of you don't know, there's no one better than Jets Fan United. He is one of the biggest supporters of this channel, of all of us, all the Jets YouTube content providers. He's unbelievable, and you should definitely go to JetsFanUnited.com and check out the forum. Do not forget to do that.
Heck of a guy, very, very, very generous spirit, for sure.
Yeah. Works really hard for us. Wilson returning, JFM coming back inside, and maybe Quinnen showing up this year. We are more formidable against the run. That's what I'm hoping.
Let's see how they play JFM. Yeah, I think they might rotate JFM inside and outside.
Yeah, the word is for right now. The word is for right now coming in from the inside, from the people who are watching.
That's what I want.
He was right. No, but I'm saying he was taking reps as an edge, JFM, not as an interior. So that's what, that's what, what's his face? DJ Bien told Buffalo on the show. He told him, he goes, I know a lot of Jet fans think they're moving JFM to the inside, but that's not what they were doing in OTAs and camp and, voluntary camp, like involuntary camp or whatever it was. He said that he was taking all his reps on the outside as an edge. So
it's just strange. He just seems like so much more disruptive when he plays inside.
I know.
I felt like he played edge last year because he had to, and they were lacking bodies there. But this year, I mean, you're bringing Lawson back. You've lost Foley. It seems to me that now interior, he can play both, but interior is the interior defensive line is clearly the bigger need. They got so many edges that they could field 2 teams with just their edges alone, and we're going to be cutting a couple of guys where, let's be honest, it's going to hurt to let them go.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm gonna trust them. I don't understand it, but hey, maybe if they do like another one Jets drive during the preseason, which they typically do, I hope they talk about JFM a little bit. I would like to see him get profiled a little bit, and I'd like to hear the coaches talk about his usage. I think we deserve an explanation on JFM. He wasn't even acknowledged in the flight series. The name wasn't even mentioned. You know, he was as MIA as Mekhi Becton on that series. Okay. So yeah, let's hear about JFM, what the plans are for. And could somebody ask that question in a press conference? I don't think Saleh or Ulbrich have been asked about JFM. Let's get some JFM questions about there because he's the wild card. They gave this guy a contract for a reason, a big contract for a reason.
Right.
Clearly, they have to have a plan for him. What is the plan?
Right.
I just want to know.
I would like to know what he's going to do. I mean, they're paying him a lot of money. What's the plan? And I've seen him have dominating games and dominating moments. I mean, he could be very, very disruptive and a very good player for us. That's really going to make some big plays. I'd like to know where he's playing and how what his role is going to be. It just doesn't make sense to me to not play him in the interior. I mean, he just seems to be such a good candidate for our style because he can cause disruption in the other team's passing game from the interior. And and I just don't understand why we wouldn't do that, because then we could have him and Q Williams on the inside creating that disruption, and you could have like a Jacob Martin and a Carl Lawson on the outside, and then JJ coming in. I mean, that sounds like, and Curry, it sounds like that's a team that could really terrorize quarterbacks.
And instead, who are defensive tackles? Nathan Shepard, Solomon Thomas, Sheldon Rankins, most of whom were basically pass rushers first, not run stoppers. And I can understand why we didn't sign Ogunjobi past a certain price, because he is a better pass rusher than he is run defender as well. I didn't feel like we had to bring back Foley Fatukasi, but you know what? From the beginning, DJ Jones was one of my top targets in free agency. It didn't work out, and I felt there was nobody quite like him on the market. Now, they still had an excellent free agency period. We knew not every position could be addressed, but I'm surprised that they didn't use like a pick somewhere or try to trade back in or to take a run-stopping defensive tackle, to take a one technique, or I don't even know if they picked one up as an undrafted free agent, because I mean that's like a position you could kind of get late. That's like one of those positions. UDFA, running back, wide receiver could work out. So I'll be watching that run defense, especially against Baltimore, because you got Patrick Ricard playing fullback. Oh my God, through all 300 pounds of him, opening holes for Dobbins and all the other guys that they got at running back, and they got Tyler Beatty also, one or two other guys I think that they have. It's going to be a heck of a challenge for this defense on week 1. It really is.
No question about it. So do you know who this guy is that Buffalo is talking about? Joe Schobert or Schubert?
Is he talking about Joe Shane, the general manager?
No, he's talking about a linebacker.
He went to the Giants, actually. I'm sorry, yeah. Joe Shane went from the Bills to the Giants and became their GM. About Joe Schobert?
Saying he's butchering the name a little bit, but so Buffalo's talking about.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah,
I got you, guys.
I didn't know there was anyone, man. I don't hear talk of any names other than
Joe Schobert, football linebacker. Okay, 28 years old. Buffalo came out with this. That's interesting because he's a free agent.
Yeah, so he was saying it's a guy that we might be able to go after.
Oh, Buffalo Jets fan. Oh, okay. I thought I meant the Bills came out. I thought the Bills came out with a video. Okay, now it makes sense. Let's see. Came into the league in 2016. Went to the University of Wisconsin. 1 year with Jacksonville. 1 year with Pittsburgh. 2017, he co-led the NFL in tackles. Very nice. So what the heck has happened since? Oh, he made the first sack of his career on Ryan Fitzpatrick when he was with the Jets. I guess that's only fitting. Oh yes, and he recorded a team high 13 tackles in the week 2 of 2019 when they beat the Jets 23-3. So this guy apparently plays very well against the Jets. So that's very reassuring. August 14, 2021, he was traded from Jacksonville to Pittsburgh for a 6th-round pick, and March 17th, he was released by the Steelers. I don't see anything like in terms of injuries. I mean, the Jaguars signed Schobert in 2020 to a 5-year, $53 million contract, but I don't see anything crazy about injuries or bad attitude. So maybe the production just wasn't what it needed to be. But yeah, he's a free agent. We're taking a flyer on. Yeah, I have no problem with that whatsoever.
They should at least bring him in and look at him in camp. So Nolte agrees the line has to play better. Maybe they like Marshall, says Adam S.
Jonathan Marshall?
Yeah, the only problem I have with Jonathan Marshall
Same player.
Huh?
He's the same. I'm sorry. He's the same player. He's all about speed and pass rush. He's not a run defender.
Yeah, but also, because certainly when he was in the game, it's not like things got better. They got run all over when he was in the game.
No, he was a flyer. It's like one of those things. It works out great. If not, you took a chance on raw athletic ability. Maybe
I wouldn't be surprised if JFM just kind of moves around and shuffles him. I wouldn't be surprised if it turns out that JFM is secretly one of the Macketeers.
Oh,
you know what a Macketeer does? A Macketeer steps up and does whatever you need. A Macketeer is your friend, is your ally. A Macketeer does whatever it takes to protect and make his team successful. A Macketeer could play on the inside. He could play on the outside. He could play safety if you needed him to, because he's a Macketeer.
Let me get this straight. So what I'm being told right now by Sean and Jeremy, you seem to be advocating, we need JFM to play all over the line. He has to learn every position. Since when did John Franklin Myers become the defensive version of Denzel Mims?
Look, he's a Macketeer.
That's all I could think about when I read that comment.
He just has the versatility and he has the talent. He's a Macketeer, I tell you. And when he's done with his football career, he'll settle back into Temecula and defend those vineyards.
Just like LDT will be saving the lives. All right. What pre-existing linemen did they talk about? I can't remember them even talking about Lawson. I think I need a little context. Who are they? Jeremy, I'm not sure I'm understanding the question.
Is he talking about the PFF with the rankings?
Maybe he is. Yeah, I'll mention it really quick. They mentioned 5 players: Quinnen, Sheldon, Lawson, JFM, and JJ. So yeah, they ranked Quinnen at a 64, Sheldon at a 46, Carl Lawson at a 76, JFM at an 80, and JJ is 82.3.
Yeah, this is great.
That wasn't actually the most unreasonable position that they ranked, to be honest. Oh man, that sums it up right there.
Macketeer could also grow fantastic beard.
They didn't talk about anybody that was already on the D line, to my recollection.
Yeah, how Frankie has Frankie's Army, and there's the Green Baggers or whatever it is, and everybody has these different things. Maybe it should be the Chaos Macketeers. Like when I create like a membership group or something. Like, do you want to be a Macketeer? Like, what level of Macketeer?
I don't know if Sean's ever going to do his own channel, but if he does, I think he better get the copyright on that. He'll have a big sing-along song. Can't you just see that?
I should have done it when more people were here, but I actually thought of the name when I do that. When I do like a membership thing where you get special icons. I don't know how it works. I got to look into it. I don't even know how it works.
Yeah, the
But when I have the
emojis.
option of adding something like that, where I could do, I like Patreon separate. I could do Patreon right now. I already started setting up my tier groups, but there's a like the membership that Ryan does on 24/7, where you get like the special fonts and all that stuff.
I got those. Yeah.
Now, however, I have to sign up for that and create that and make that happen. You have to have a name for it. You know, Frank's always like joins Frank's army. Green Bean says be a bagger or whatever the hell it is, right? I mean, everybody has these names. I'm thinking, how about this? And I wish Jets was here. I was thinking about the snacks, like to become a chaos snack. Like if you want to join the
snackers,
chaos snacks, the snackers, the chaos snacker.
Maybe the
Like my
snackers.
snackers. Everybody who joins my channel is
Because you're snack. Here's the thing. You're snacks.
Yeah, I'm snacks.
That's you.
Who wants to be a
So-
snacker?
A snacker. See, I
Who's gonna be a
like that.
snacker? Yeah. or a Macateer. Okay.
If you're a Packers fan, be like Packers snackers or something.
Yeah.
There are all kinds of ways you could go with that, but yeah, I like the idea of the snackers. I think that sounds pretty good.
Look, this is so funny. I think he put that in before we said it.
Did he? Oh,
I
wasn't even
think he
looking
put
at
it
the
in
chat, to be
before we
honest.
said it.
All right,
because
Emanon, we'll
somebody's-
give you a little cut.
Because look, he said that's an amazing suggestion. It's amazing because that was my announcement. My announcement was going to be, I forgot when I said, like that was my announcement. That was my idea 5 hours ago. I was thinking it should be the snackers, the Jeremy snackers or the chaos snackers. Isn't that great? And I was thinking if you're allowed to pick the icons, I don't know if the Jets, I don't know if you get to choose, but I'll pick like special snacks, like except that those are usually already there. Like you look, there's already snacks there. So I don't think I'd have to make special ones or customize special ones. I don't know.
You have to do something like a Jets cake or a Jets pizza box. Like you do food stuff with like a Jets logo on it.
Yeah.
Of course, the big one have to do something with like an egg head. You got to do something with eggs. That would be, green eggs and green eggs and ham.
It was my idea 6 hours ago. No, I literally brought it up to announce that I was going to do this. That I that's why I said Jets mess would love it because he always calls me snacks. But Emanon calls me snacks also, so that's why it's obvious to them that any member of the channel should be the snackers. Yeah. But that's cool that we're all like the same wavelength. I like that we're on the same wavelength.
That's good.
That, or this is a good suggestion too. The eggheads.
I think the eggheads would be like the premium level of Patreon.
Because you actually shave your head.
Yeah, the eggheads. You know who the eggheads are? The eggheads are PFF. I think we can all agree on that one tonight.
How about Jeremy's
Jeremy's
cold?
cold.
Or how about Jeremy's chicken cutlets?
I was gonna say the eggheads, the chicken cutlets. Order them however you wish.
Yeah.
Oh
My
my God.
lowest group will be the betrayers.
The betrayers. The betrayers are the non-subscribers.
For you,
Don't
it's
be a
gonna
betrayer. Don't be a betrayer. Be a snacker.
That's right. For you, it's gonna be easy. Weavers.
I get the reference, Emanon. I get the reference. Very good. No, yeah. My top level would be the chairman. You want to be a chairman, right? So,
Oh my God. Can you imagine?
boy.
By the way,
This
can you
is-
imagine?
welcome
can
to
you
the
imagine-
business planning meeting, guys. I hope you're enjoying it.
Can you imagine if I'm sitting there opening week, right? We're all, like so all these guys are there and everything. And over comes Jay Cole. He comes running over to confront me. And I'm literally going to be in the middle of a group of Matt O'Leary, Ryan, Green Bean, Richie, Sack Exchange, and Garrett Ham, and all these Jets Lounge people, and there's going to be Gotham. Gotham is going to be there doing like their tailgate. There's going to be all these Jets guys. A lot of them are going to know me. Harry's going to be there. All these guys, and he's going to come running over and confront me. Can you imagine what that would look like?
I hope you have your security ready to go.
But here's the worst thing. Here's the worst thing about what he was saying, and I keep forgetting it. Like when he was saying, "Oh, I'll come at you." I'm naming all these guys, and he's like, "Oh, I'll kill Green Bean. I'll do this and this and that." There's one person who, whether he has tickets to the game or not, goes to every tailgate party because he lives close to the stadium. That's going to be there. that I didn't mention, and that was Big Nick Shine. So I was like,
I will take Nick. I don't care how many beers Nick has had that day. I would take Nick drunk with both hands tied behind his back and blindfolded over J. Cole.
Well, Nick, I mean, like, I totally forgot that. Totally went over my head. I was like, Nick Shine's going to be standing there. Like, this poor kid, if he came running over, Nick would just look at him and say, walk away now. Walk away. I mean, other than Michael Clemens, the next up that you want on your side is Nick Shine.
Nick Shine versus Michael Clemens.
No one. It's no one versus Michael Clemens.
No.
You know, Michael Clemens could beat Ditka.
Oh boy. That ain't no happenstance. I guarantee you that. It is, oh man, you're breaking my heart. It's a shame I can't be there week 1. It's just, week 1 I got to be with my club. I can't miss opening day.
I know.
Man, it had to be week 1.
Get your club to all go.
That'd be a lot of people. It might work out better. Yeah, maybe if next year they open on the road and then we met for like the first home game, maybe that would work. But hopefully there'll be some other event during the course of the season that can work out. Because I don't mind missing 1 game, 2 games a year at the most, but I really don't want to miss too many.
Is the restaurant where your club meets and hangs out? Is that bar restaurant? Is that closer to Cary, North Carolina, or further than Richmond?
Okay, to make sure I understood the question, it's about an hour from Richmond. It's about 3 hours from Cary, 3 to 3.5 hours from Cary.
So it's an hour further.
It's an hour from Richmond, yeah, because Norfolk and Richmond are about an hour apart without traffic.
Okay, because I got to Richmond in how long of a drive was it?
But you had to take 95. That's the difference. Where I live,
no, I didn't take 95. I took 85.
You took 80. Oh, you took a little different route. Okay. Oh,
I took 85 to 95.
There you go. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah. Welcome to
I think
part of the Virginia driving breakdown we got going on.
I think it was like 2 hours and 40 minutes, if I remember.
That seems reasonable because where I am, you have to go east a little bit. Like we can't take. It takes me about an hour to get to 95 going through Richmond, or if I drive straight across, it's going to take about an hour and 15 minutes because you're going to take the 2-lane roads, and the cops are literally lined all over. Route 58 in Virginia, in Emporia, Virginia, the most police-run city you could ever imagine. I mean, if you go, I'm not making this up, if you go like 8 miles an hour over the speed limit, you could get pulled over. I found out the hard way. So we call that in the state being emporiated. If you've been emporiated, everybody knows what that means. So you got to take your time when you're doing that drive straight across to 95. I'm going down. Like when I went to see you, I had to make sure I was taking my time. Cruise control, 5 miles an hour over the limit, no more than that.
Wow.
You got to be careful.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm just thinking for the future if I'm ever visiting my parents, like I'll do a 1 night overnighter in that area, like just find some motel, cheap, just some place like a Marriott Courtyard or something, and go and be able to watch a game with you. And
that'd be friggin' awesome. And Ryan Jett is correct. It's pronounced Norfolk. That's how they could tell the locals. Even though we have people from all over the country in this area, so who even knows what a local is anymore?
Huh.
But yeah, Norfolk.
We got to get J. Cole in Frankie's army. We got to get J. Cole to be a snacker.
J. Cole, I think J. Cole would be going AWOL on that one.
Yeah, exactly. Frankie would have blocked him a long time ago.
Oh my goodness.
Long time ago.
I'm guessing, put it this way, Frankie, I believe, is a very mild-mannered guy. But if you've seen the movie Full Metal Jacket, I think J. Cole would turn him into Gunnery Sergeant Hartman.
Oh my God, that's such a scary and eerie and spot on. Like, oh my God, that's so crazy and scary. But like, jeez.
Can you imagine Frankie yelling nonstop and cursing somebody out? I can't. It's so hard because he has that like mellifluous Vince Scully voice, and to hear him like going off like on J. Cole incessantly would. Oh my goodness, it would.
He wouldn't. He would just. he would just say, "Yep, this is ridiculous," and then like he'd very calmly just block him and say, "Yep, there, that'll take care of that." You know, like he'd very calmly just block him forever.
And instead of putting them like in, like when you're like punished, where they put you in, like the hole, the girl. Where do they put you in when you're punished in the military? They put you.
Iowan saying good night. Good night, Iowan.
Oh, good night, Iowa.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris. I try to nail it. That's what she said. But when you're in trouble in the art, they like put you like somewhere like for punishment, like it'd be like the hole, like if you're in jail or something like that. In Frankie's case, he would just take you down to Clown Town.
Mhm.
That's like the ultimate spot of punishment is Clown Town. Yep,
Yeah.
John knows it. Emporia. Yep, we're 95. Yeah, we're 95. Connects. It is Route 58. You got to be careful there. So
Yeah.
but yeah, you could get realistically, I'd say even that 2 hours 45 minutes, maybe 3 hours from Cary to Norfolk.
It's not that bad. I wouldn't want to do it both ways in the same day.
Yeah,
I'd rather go hang out than
I got an extra bedroom. I got that extra bedroom and a couch. You could stay overnight if it comes to that. You're more than welcome to.
All
Of
right.
course, it's the
Cool.
least I can do for you.
We would figure it out, and then that would be super, super cool.
I may not have as many great pizza options up in Newport News as we did in Cary. So, but we will work something out. We, cooking with Jets Chaos and Watsu K99. Who knows what might happen?
My God, that pizza was so good.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
I got to get that on this computer so I could show that video. I don't know why I didn't do that yet. Shit, I got to get that up. So
Yeah, that could be like the intro next week. Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Yeah, exactly.
And then all of a sudden, Lou Stool shows up and takes the pizza away, starts running for the hills with it. We don't know how he runs, but somehow he be running with it.
Well, hey, I gotta cook dinner right now. I actually got some wings that we ordered from Whole Foods.
John Nolte, what's the reason for your major malfunction, Cole? Private Cole.
Full Metal.
I recall. I actually have a story for you about that movie. So, a lot of us have done karaoke. So I was at a party downtown Chicago, like a bunch of big like corporate stuff going on. It was like I was there with Yelp, and they had a bunch of different things going on. They had like a little casino going. They had a couple of games, but one of the games they had was Movieoke, where they would play movie scenes and you would talk over the movie scenes. So instead of singing the song, you're talking over the movie. And without thinking about it, I started doing the opening scene of Sergeant Hartman dressing down all the new recruits into the Marines. And about halfway through, I'm like, there's a couple words here I cannot say on a microphone in public in front of about 200 people. It was so beyond awkward. And man, it's one of those movies that's like you want to quote it, but it's just like, oh yeah, there's like really no insult that's like that you could really do without. Yeah, it's put it this way, it's not Airplane. Like when Stephen Angle and I go back and forth with Airplane quotes, Full Metal Jacket, great a movie as it is. Yeah, it ain't. You couldn't make it today, but thank God it was made. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, yeah, guys, I just want to say good night, everybody. Thank you, Adam. Anything you want to promote or push right now? Let me make sure everybody knows about.
Yeah, so check out the channel, NY Sports Wicker Media. The subscribers are growing, and I want to thank everybody who's taken the time to watch a video, to like it, to subscribe to the channel, to share it with a friend. You know, we're talking right now a lot of Mets and a lot of Jets. Those are kind of my two big topics. I did a recent article on Edwin Diaz and how he has improved so much as the New York Mets closer. So for the link to that, it's just like the name of the channel, nysportswickermedia.blogspot.com. And I tend to put those links in most of my videos. Still figuring out all the little ins and outs and figuring out how to make the channel better and make it grow. But I love doing it. I'm having a ball doing it. And just want to thank everybody for their support and taking their time to check out what we're doing.
Check out Some Guy is here. What's up, Some Guy? Salty Nolte, McAteer, thanks for being here. Eminon, Chris Bradigan, I've spent the whole day with you, it feels like. So So yeah, check out Y2K stuff. Go to Wicked Sports Media if you haven't subscribed yet. What the hell's wrong with you? Go subscribe already. And yeah, we're gonna sign off, and we will be back at some point for the Friday night hangout. Right? I don't know. We might have to do it on Saturday because Nick is busy, but I'll definitely be back on Sunday night, and I believe Dom C will be back from vacation, so we'll be talking about some stuff. It's slow season. We're just gonna it's just about hanging out, and just if any news comes up, we'll be able to discuss it.
By the way, any big plans for the 4th? Anything exciting going on?
Nothing crazy on my end. Nothing
Yeah,
crazy.
me neither.
Yeah,
I did buy 2 racks of style spare ribs today. I'm gonna make those. I just wish I had like an outdoor smoker. So I got to try to make these taste good as I can, but I got to cook them inside. So I'm gonna try.
I'm done at about 2:00 p.m. tomorrow, and I have a 4-day weekend because I have nothing on Friday all the way through to Tuesday. So I got a 4-day weekend coming, and we're gonna just do a lot of probably just fire up the barbecue and do some barbecuing and hanging out and do some beer gardens. And, the weather's going to be beautiful. It's going to be, the high is going to be like 80. So during the day, it'll be in the 70s. So we're going to, Sacramento has a lot of beer gardens and breweries, and probably going to do a lot of that.
That sounds great. That sounds great.
Yeah.
I don't have any. I think Saturday is when I'm gonna do the whole barbecue thing. Well, the indoor barbecue thing. But hey, if you know what you're doing, you can make stuff taste good. And I'm breaking out that 1-year bourbon barrel aged barbecue sauce that I got last week. I'm gonna put that on. I'm gonna put that on the ribs. So hey, when you got ribs, it's always good to have a little bit of bourbon involved. It always adds that little deliciousness. Chef's kiss.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah.
Okay, later, everybody. Thanks for coming by. We'll see you later in the week. I'll pop out another video as soon as I can. Ciao. Oh, yeah. Go. Amazing. That's my boy. He
breaks away from a sack and completes the pass for first down.
Oh, Kittle just may have made the most amazing catch.
He fights for the first down and gets out of bounds too.
It's no good. Overtime. Oh, what a catch. How do you drop that? What are you, Jamal Adams? Touchdown.
This is a touchdown all the way.
He reached over the pylon. San Francisco